Hello, my yarnsmithing lovelies, yet again here in my studio in central UK. If you haven't seen me before, I'm Simon Henry, and this is where we meet to discuss all things yarn and yarn craft. So today, what I'm going to do is something just a little bit different. I'm going to go back over the year and I'm going to let you know what my favourite yarn finds of the year were, and also no hate at the end today. I'm going to give some hate. Stay tuned. My favourite yarn finds this year have surprised me. Two of them are from Temu. Now, we've had some nasty comments about Temu over this year. I will reiterate, I'll keep it short. Temu don't make anything. Temu is a sales platform that partner with manufacturers, and those manufacturers send things straight out to the consumer, thus cutting out agents, wholesalers, retailers, etc., and keeping the price way down. Temu don't use child labour themselves. They may, and I have actually done some research, partner with people that aren't quite so ethical as maybe they should be, but certainly in as far as yarn production, I haven't found anything that concerns me too greatly. I've got to edge here ever so slightly. As far as wool production is concerned, bear in mind China is the largest yarn processor in the world, followed closely by Turkey. A lot of the wool that manufacturers that Temu partner with actually comes from Australia. 90% of Australian wool is processed in China. The things are getting better in Australia. However, there are still some practices that go on, the way they treat the lambs, etc., that still, aren't particularly ethical. The law with British wool is very different. The law with New Zealand wool is very different. But we're not quite there with Australian wool at the moment. So any wool that you buy that says Australian wool is most likely to be processed in China. So the ethical side of that and the moral side of that has actually got nothing to do with Temu. That's a thing that you've got to look a bit closely at where the fleeces are coming from. The research is quite easy to do. China, mostly with the yarn processing, is really state of the art. It's not done in little sweatshops by children. They can't produce, they wouldn't be able to produce enough, to be fair. So just do a bit of research yourself. Just go back and have a little look. Temu isn't run by the Chinese government, which I've had a lot of people say to me. It's a privately owned company. I personally have had no problems with information being shared off there. People say, I'm not going to use Temu because you've got to give your card information and you've got to give your address. How else are you going to have it delivered? You have to do that with Amazon and all the other things as well. Some people are a bit odd. So anyway, do your research, have a little look. Don't believe everything that you read on there. Just kind of research a bit deeper and see. So, number one yarn find, the first one that I'm going to talk about is actually from Temu, and it's this one. It's called Merino number 5. Now, I'm going to pop that up on the screen for you now. However, I have found when I give links to the sites, every country has got their own Temu site. UK have just started to deliver from the UK, so they have a site that we get things very quickly from. That's where this was from. It seems that when I gave out the link to go and buy it, it came up as some child's toy on one, it came up as some face cream on another, and all kinds of stuff. So go to your individual's country's Temu site, type in Merino number 5, this, and look for this label. It is gorgeous. It's got a very small percentage of let's have a look. I'm going to read the label to you, but I've got to put my glasses on, sadly. It is 50% merino wool, 50% polyester. It says, I did burn test, I did dye test, I did everything. It is what it says on the label. It feels gorgeous. It knits up beautifully. Stitch definition rather is lovely. The colours are lovely. It's incredibly cheap. I can't remember what I paid for this, and I bet it's not on there. I know, it worked out at about £1 for a 50-gram ball or something. One of my favourite yarns to knit with. So that's number one. Have a look for Merino number 5. Second one, which is also I found this year on Temu, and that is Fairyland. This is a little bit more expensive than other yarns on Temu. However, it is absolutely gorgeous. This is again, let's have a look what it says. It's really sad when you get to my age and I can't see the label. Does anybody else do this to try bring it into focus? Anyway, that's better. So this is 60% cotton, 30% acrylic, 10% wool. It feels really lovely. It knits up beautifully. Again, it works out much cheaper than it would be buying that same, from other manufacturers. However, it is a little bit more expensive. So go on your own site, have a look for Fairyland, and have a look for this variegated yarn. Colours are beautiful. I've knit with this quite a lot this year, and I've really enjoyed it. And every time I see it on there, I actually order another batch just for myself. So that's that one. So next one this year that I found, we're moving up a little bit and a little bit higher end, was from West Yorkshire Spinners, and this is Bo Peep Pure, and it's 100% Falkland Islands wool. This is exactly as you would expect it to be. Oh, did you see me sniff the yarn? I'm getting loads of people coming out as being yarn sniffers. They secretly sniff the yarn. Don't do it secretly. Be out and proud. Sniff that yarn. That's what I said. So, Bo Peep Pure, 100% Falklands wool. This is double knit. Knits beautifully, stitch definition is lovely. It really feels high end when you're working with it. It has started to come now. I noticed when I went on the site this morning, rather than in hanks, let me see if I can find it. It comes in donuts now, you know, the kind of donutty balls. And for 50 grams is £7.50, which for, you know, 100% Falkland Islands wool is, you know, very reasonable. I'm going to put I'll put the website up here, and I'll also put a link to them in the description. And the colours are fabulous. I just kept buying it every time. Let me see what else there is there. Hidden under that mess there. There's loads of this. Can't see anymore. I don't quite know what I'm going to do with it yet. All these odd colours I buy. I've bought one or two bits for when I'm working with couture clients, and I've bought from there for that, and the quality is superb. Can't recommend this highly enough. So go on and have a look. The last yarn find is something, let me just have a look, extremely special, and I'll tell you why it's extremely special is because you can't get it. This was sent to me by one of my Patreon members. I'm going to put it up there. Susan Topper spun this, and it is stunning. It really is absolutely beautiful. And look at these colours, just look at it. And you know, she sent me enough to do something with, and I actually haven't done it yet because it actually feels so special. I haven't come up with the right thing to use it for. In my mind, it's going to make husband a waistcoat, I think, but we'll see. I had actually thought, if anybody out there watching machine knits, you know, we can set machine knit to weave, and I'd actually thought about doing this as the front part of the knit weave, because it will make it go much further. But I'll see. In the new year, I've specifically left myself some time in my diary to come back and do things that I'm wanting to do for myself. I've just realised these colours go with this shirt. Actually, oh, could wear them as earrings. No, so brain wander is a thing that I'm getting quite a lot these days. I just skip off on tangents. So anyway, Susan Topper, this is gorgeous. Thank you so much. I feel very privileged to own this, because this is the only ones in the world. This is going to be absolutely couture. When we do couture knits for clients, quite often we will have yarn spun that's just for that particular piece. This is why quite often couture knits are in the thousands of pounds, and it's because of what goes into them. And genuinely, you know, they are the only one of those things in the world, both in the yarn itself and you know, in the makeup of it. We only ever make one. and this is probably going to go into something that sits at that level. So they are my yarn finds of the year. Go and have a look. For you know, just regular sit and relax and standard knitting things, Merino number 5. This knits probably to Aran weight, by the way. The Fairyland is ever so slightly above DK. It says on there 4mm needles. It says on this one, I don't think it actually says. This one I know I knit on 5.5 actually millimetre needles, came up with the best fabric weight. This, if I can remember what I did with it, I did a piece in garter stitch with this, and I think I knit that on 4.5mm, and the weight of it was just perfect. The West Yorkshire Spinners DK 4mm needles knit exactly as I expected. Susan's yarn, not sure how I'm gonna handle that yet, but we'll see. Oh. People think I'm mad. Honestly, start sniffing your yarn. You'll see what I mean. So that was that. That's the best yarns I've personally found this year. If you look back at all the videos, you see I've reviewed, you know, a huge amount of yarns. Out of all of them, these are the ones that I will return to and do more. I may do one on machine knitting yarns. I know they're getting, for domestic knitters, they're getting increasingly difficult to find, so I may actually start and do a little bit of research on those. So in the meantime, if you enjoy what you see and you've enjoyed this year's videos, please like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. I'm getting very close to 6,000 now subscribers and 250,000 views. Amazing. Thank you so much to everybody. And this week I'm not going to read out any hate that's come this way. There has been a little bit. I shall save some of that till next week. What I'm going to do instead, it was a question that actually somebody asked, which was, you know, what really annoys me about other people who knit. Where can I start? Honestly, when I'm watching, because I do watch other people's videos, I do really enjoy other people's videos. Anybody who's watched in the past, one of my Patreon members, Mandy, does a fabulous blog that I go and watch and really enjoy. But I'll sit and I'll just it just be on in the background. I'll just watch stuff while I'm knitting. The things that really annoy me, anybody who's seen the videos that are running alongside this, which is for beginners, how to knit for beginners rather. I'm trying to make it as easy as I possibly can on there, so that, you know, they can learn to knit and they can really enjoy the craft as we do. So number one, the thing that annoys me is people who make it seem really difficult. They make it as hard as they possibly can. And I don't know whether it's to off-put beginners or whether it's to make people think they're much cleverer than they really are. Not sure. They really get on my nerves. I'm going to say something really horrible now, and this is not going to be popular. Tom Daly. I'm sorry. He's doing, bless him, he's doing a knit along, like an Advent knit along or something at the moment. I don't even know where to begin. I was watching it and he said, you know, the easiest way to join yarn is tie it in a knot. The knot sits on the back, nobody sees it. Okay. That really offends me. That offends me. That's my couture background. That is. I'm really sorry, Tom, if you tune in. And bless him, I've been following it. It's a pink and white sock Christmas stocking or something that's on big needles, like everything he does and everything they do on the game of wool. Don't get me started on that. Oh dear. He's not getting many views, bless him. There's not a lot of people doing it, I don't think. However, what I will say, I mean, the thing is with me, I mean, he's set himself up as some kind of expert on the thing, and he's a reasonable knitter. He's certainly not an expert on the craft. What I will say, and what I do really like, is he's stimulating an interest in the craft. He's getting younger people to knit along. He's normalising men that knit, and that I really, really like. So, you know, there are positives there. So we'll move away from that. The next one, and I don't know why it bothers me so much, because it shouldn't, but it's when you see people who knit or knit the continental way and crochet with the yarn wrapped around this finger, and they hold it up like this, and then they let a bit of yarn drop off, and then they wrap it around the finger again. So when they're knitting, they're sticking this finger up all the while, which is putting tension on the hand. You know, it's not a relaxed position to knit in. Also, you know, as they're having to keep dropping bits of yarn off, and, you know, there's more wrapped round and less wrapped round, the tension must be all over the place. For the continental knitters who do it that way, they find it really hard to purl. I don't know why, but it really annoys me. And if I tune into a video and somebody's knitting like that, I turn it off. Oh dear. To all those out there who do this, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry for it. Just because I don't do it that way doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. For some reason or other, it just really irritates me. I don't know why. So that's that. And the last thing that really annoys me is people making comments on videos when, number one, they haven't done the research, number two, they don't know what on earth they're talking about, and number three, why comment anyway? Why take the time to say nasty things? I'm talking about the nasty ones, by the way. I get some lovely comments on there, and it's really nice to have those. I'm getting regular people that comment, and it really is. Some of the things are lovely, and I want to give them a yarn smithy hug. But the nasty ones, you know, I've got people who are saying that I'm teaching incorrectly on the how to knit videos. Why don't I show them the proper way? And the proper way is to knit the continental style. The proper way is not to knit the English style, because that's not proper. Well, number one, if you can already knit and you're such an expert, I mean, two things really. One, why are you watching a how to knit video? And two, why aren't you making your own? Go off, make your own videos. Anyway. And also, you know, the people who just, I've had, you know, 2 or 3 people that literally every week come on and criticise and you know, say I'm telling people the wrong thing and all that kind of stuff, go and make your own. Why are you watching mine? And why do you think it's okay to comment like that? Don't know. Anyway, you must be a bit sad. Got no friends. Oh dear. So anyway, that's going to be that. I've got it all off my chest. I want to say there, I've said it. Tom, if you're listening, I'm ever so sorry, darling. I don't mean to. It's not personal. No, that's the thing. It's not personal. So I don't know how many videos left this year. Maybe 2 videos left in the year. If there's anything you particularly want to see or see me do, leave a comment down below. Pop over to the Patreon site and have a look. We're just halfway through a Tunisian crochet French style jacket over there that is coming along very nicely. We've just done a proper Fair Isle. When I say proper Fair Isle, it is actually proper Fair Isle. Steeked. Everything is steeked. The neck shaping, the armholes, everything. So we've just finished that. 1 or 2 have made, they've finished it along with me. They've made fabulous jobs of it. I'm really impressed with that. So pop over, have a little look what's going on over there. I think it works out about £5 a month or something, $5 a month. So that's well worth having a look at. And in the meantime, I want to say happy yarn sniffing to all those who are doing it secret. Happy yarn smithing. Many, many big loves as always. And I'm going to see you really soon. Bye.